What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here's our test fender with one of this week's experiments with the gold over red. I already went ahead and sanded the fender. There was this little bug that landed right here just shortly after I took the fender outside. I sanded it with 600. This is one of the things that could happen, whenever you sand the clear coat with pigment. You could just like sand straight through the clear coat and expose either the base. But again, I sanded this very rough with 600 grit, and then I followed it with 1000 grit. So like my intention was just to have this fender smooth, not to cut and buff. Obviously it does work just to cut and buff the clear coat with pigment. My car, I did the same thing, and it looks fantastic. But so the fender is ready for some paint. So for today's experiment, I'm gonna go ahead and use some of this. This is the RUSTOLEUM. It's a 2X paint and primer, and the color is stone gray. So this is in satin finish. So lately what I've been doing is instead of spraying this directly from the can onto our test fender, I pour the paint into our spray gun, and then I come and just spray our test fender with the spray gun. Works the same, just without the tiger striping. So let me go ahead and get a few ounces of this, and then we'll start spraying. So it's a stone gray. It's bubbling just a little bit because of the propellant. But let's go ahead and spray. All right, look at that first coat. Very awesome coverage. So the color is stone gray by RUSTOLEUM, satin finish. This is over red, first coat. I still have paint in here, and I only got 6 ounces out of the can. So alright guys, so here is the paint. So it's already just flash dry. It's ready for the next coat. So it looks awesome. The color is just amazing. The finish is just absolutely amazing. We sprayed it with the Spectrum spray gun, and it just looks uniform, no tiger striping, just an awesome color. So here it is by RUSTOLEUM, the paint and primer, satin finish, and stone gray is the color. So if we check this, I have a primer right here, so it's a little bit lighter than that filler sandable primer. It's a little bit lighter, but now that we have that base, which looks pretty awesome, next up we're gonna go ahead and spray some GEISHA over this base. So this is a color shift pigment from Eye Candy Pigments. So it's an interference pigment. If you spray this over a black base, which most color shift or all color shifts require a black base so you can see the effect shift from one color to another. But like some interference pigments, such as the ghosts, they look like white, like this, just a pearl. But once you spray it over the black base or a white, it'll give you an effect. A black will completely give you the color. This GEISHA is meant to be from a purple to a blue color shift. So we're gonna spray it on here. So the only difference today, instead of spraying it on the clear coat, which were just for, you know, like to show colors, today I want to leave a nice finish. So I'm gonna use some INTERCOAT clear. So I have the INTERCOAT clear right here. So with these last few experiments that I did with the apple red base and the Ken Gold or Ghost Gold, I was using about 1 gram for every 5 ounces of clear coat. So if you do the calculations, that is about 25 grams for every 1 gallon of, you know, like clear. So today, I want to do, like, we're gonna double up, not only in the quantity of the pigment, but also in the ounces that we're gonna use. Instead of the clear coat, I'm gonna use INTERCOAT. So I'm gonna mix 10 ounces of INTERCOAT, and instead of, so like I said, 5 ounces is one gram, 10 ounces, 2 grams. So instead of just following the 25 grams per gallon, I'm gonna do 50 grams per gallon. So meaning 4 grams of pigment for those 10 ounces of pearl. So for the INTERCOAT clear, I am using the Auto Paint HQ INTERCOAT. So this one mixes on a 1:1 with reducer. So here I have the medium speed. So I'm going to go ahead and mix 5 ounces of INTERCOAT, 5 ounces of reducer, making it 10 ounces. Okay, now for those 10 ounces, I'm going to use 4 grams of the geisha doll with this spoon. Okay, so now we're ready to spray. What I'm gonna try to do is just hold the phone while, hold the phone, come down Shrek. So what I'm gonna try to do is just hold the phone while I, you know, spray the first coat. If it feels like I'm comfortable spraying and holding the phone at the same time, I'll show you guys the passes. But other than that, I'll just show you, I'll set you guys in a tripod, I'll spray the pass, and then I'll show you guys, you know, the coat, what it looks like, first coat, second coat. I have enough to do at least 4 coats with those 10 ounces. So let's go ahead and get spraying. Just as a quick reminder, if you guys are interested in any pearls, flakes, or color shift pigments, be sure to visit the link that is pinned in the top comment, and be sure to use code GT's Performance so you guys can save 15% on your order. This is the second coat at 50 grams per gallon. Okay, so this is 3 coats of 50 grams. 50 grams per gallon. So there it is. So I have just a very small amount left on the spray gun. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just spray it just wherever I feel like it needs. Right here on the edges it doesn't really need, or in the back, but just maybe this top section. I don't know, it all looks pretty decent. Okay, so we were able to do 3 coats plus a control coat at 50 grams per gallon and over the stone gray base coat. This is the results. We still haven't added the clear coat. This is just inner coat, but it already looks like pearl and purple and all that. So once we add the clear coat, especially once taking it outside in direct sunlight, we'll be able to see this effect. So let me go ahead and show you the clear coat. Okay, so this is the clear that I'm using for today. It's a platinum clear, that is the brand, and it mixes on a 4:1 ratio, 4 parts clear, 1 part activator. So right here I have 8 ounces of the clear coat, so I'll go ahead and add 2 more ounces of the activator, making it 10 ounces, and that should be enough to spray at least 3 coats on the fender. Clear coat. Okay, so here's the first coat of clear coat. Nothing to it on the clear coat, just spray. Light coats, don't go too heavy on the first one, don't try to get it all high gloss on the first coat. This right here is not perfect at all. So this is just a light coat, and you know, if you feel like you went out of direction, you know, you can feel it, but don't concentrate too much on that. Just keep on going. You'll come back on the second coat once this first coat is already flashed dried, enough to where, you know, tacky where on an inconspicuous place like back here. Just touch it. You see, now we can touch it. If I press it, yeah, I'll leave a mark, but we don't want to do that. It's just like to the touch, like that. And if you could do that on the surface, it's ready for another paint, for another coat. mosquito that's trying to ruin our work. Well, this is the kind of stuff that happens, but you know, no big deal. I'll go ahead and continue clear coating the last coat of clear, possibly flow coat, just to make sure that everything's nice and wet. And that'll be it. Let it dry, and then we'll take it outside. Okay, so at this point, after you are done spraying, basically, just you're gonna leave it alone. Clean out your spray gun or whatever. If you did a full car, don't worry about unmasking. Leave it at least till an hour, enough to where, in case you end up touching your paint, nothing happens to it. It's already like dried. But not too dry. Don't wait till tomorrow to unmask your car, because the clear coat, if it goes over the tape, and then when you try to unmask it, you know. But here's the color, actually, like very beautiful color. So the base coat, RUSTOLEUM, is the paint and primer 2X. So it's the stone gray, very light gray. And after that, we did the GEISHA doll. The GEISHA doll, we were able to spray 4 coats on here. And then on the clear coat, we sprayed 3 coats of clear. And just a little bit of the flow coat. I sprayed a little bit behind and on the edges as well. But yeah, I already went ahead and cleaned out the spray gun. In between coats or in between materials, I'll just clean it with acetone and you know, like either carb cleaner or brake parts cleaner, just in between coats. And then after I'm done fully like painting, I'll fully disassemble it and finish cleaning it off. So right now we'll go ahead and take this out and see what it looks like. All right, so here it is in direct sunlight. So there's the effect. That's the GEISHA doll. Still looks on the light gray, the base, stone gray. So I'm wondering if we would have sprayed like the granite. Granite is slightly darker than the stone gray. So the GEISHA doll works on a darker base. Like if it were black, you would have seen the color immediately purple to blue. On a white, you might not notice it that much. You might get a little bit of this subtle pearl effect. But the color, like if we would have used like a slightly darker gray, we might be able to see it a little bit more. But maybe that's just enough. That's just awesome like that. Another way you could make it stand out a little more, adding more grams. This is on a 50 grams per gallon. So you could go 75, 100, whatever. But this looks amazing just like that. It is a you know, very nice experiment. You know, for people that still like the gray colors. Here's this one. And it varies from the grays: Battleship Gray, Nardo Gray, Smoke Gray. They're all similar. And then the Geisha doll, as I said, it is a color shift pigment or interference pigment. So this one doesn't really affect the color of the gray itself. Whenever the sun hits it, we'll get the effect. So very, very nice pigments. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for making your suggestions so I can spray them out in a test fender like this and show you guys what it looks like. I'm getting more pigments as well as flakes. I've heard a lot of you guys suggest some pigments that I don't have right now, so I have those on the list. I'm also picking up some to respray my car, which is a full car paint job instead of another test experiment. But so yeah, on the car I'm thinking kind of a red, so maybe like a red base, red flakes, red pigments, full red car, a little bit of black. And my thing is keeping the hood and the roof black, maybe some black wheels as well, but kind of change it from the color shift mix of the Sumo Wrestler and Land of the Rising Sun that I did. It was a mix. It was still on the learning curve where I was still learning about the pigments, but we're pretty much getting the hang of the of how they work and the quantities. So I'll be doing another respray on my car, so stay tuned to the channel, subscribe. And other than that, if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys on the next video. Peace out.